Hey, it's Panda, and welcome to this Mabinogi Crom Normal tutorial. If you haven't unlocked Crom yet and you're curious on how to get it, you can go into the dungeon guide, and right next to Crom there'll be a little question mark. You can hover over that, and it will show you all the requirements needed. So when it comes to Crom, there are two different modes, Crom Basic and Crom Normal. So every week, you're going to want to make sure you're doing 10 Crom Basic runs and 10 Crom Normal runs. If you are ever curious on how many Crom runs you've done for the week, you can enter Crom, and in the top left, it will show you how many you've done, but I feel like this hasn't been accurate recently. So what we could do is actually go to your dungeon guide now, and it will show you how many runs you've done, which I really like because now I don't have to go all the way to Crom just to check. Alrighty, so for the first room, it's pretty chill. You're gonna get 2 waves of mobs. After you're done defeating those waves of mobs, you're gonna wanna make sure you hit the bells in the corners of the room. We wanna make sure that we're hitting the bells in every room to get the pursuer level in the top right corner to 90%. Basically, we do this so that the room after Irusan, we will only see 4 waves of mobs. And say if you forget to hit bells entirely, you will then be seeing 8 waves of mobs after Irusan. After you clear a room, you may see souls in the middle of the room, so if you talk to them, you can get additional buffs. You can always figure out what buff they're going to give before talking to them, because you can just see what equipment they have in their hand. So for this room, you see how the room changed to a different color. So in this room we can't consume any potions. And then same thing, just defeating mobs. You want to make sure that none of the mobs hit a bell in the corner, or else they'll spawn more mobs. I mentioned the souls earlier, so this one soul has a staff in their hand, so I picked up the magic enhancement from it. So here we have the hallway. So for this room, the mobs will only take damage if we push them into certain areas. So these mobs here, we would push them to where that person is standing, that dark figure, and they will take damage if they stay in there. You can also meteor the mobs, which was shown there. While some people work on pushing the mobs to these areas, we do have Corv here who's walking the path for us. So she's just going circle to circle. If Corv gets hit, she'll have to restart at the last circle that she just started at. And this is why a lot of parties have the elf just use elf hide, because they won't get interrupted that way. And then here you saw me grapple shot. So you do that right before the next wave spawns, just so that you avoid getting Wraith Roared. Wraith Roar is the effect that makes it so you can't summon any pets. And for this wave, same thing, we're pushing those mobs into those areas so that they can take damage. Some things you can use are like Gravity Well, if you have Scythe configured in a way that they pull the mobs in, that's really good. You can use Spinning Slasher, you can spam pets that help gather. Some people even use puppetry here, and Wind Blast is really good here as well. So the next room is Irusan. So you're going to want to make sure you have your buffs on before going in. You can have someone prag Irusan to make it easier if you think you're going to struggle. And make sure you have Fate Weaver on yourself. So that would be 5231. So Irusan can go a couple different kind of ways depending on how strong your party is. As soon as you get in the room, you want to make sure you are debuffing Irusan. When battling Irusan, you want to make sure you are continuously moving so that you can dodge these red circles or the Shasha that she does. I'll talk more about the Shasha in just a little bit. If your party does a lot of damage, this is typically how Irusan is going to be. Now for this run, what happens is if you deal too much damage before 90%, you're going to be hit with the mini game. So you have to spam left right on your keyboard. And then if you're DD, what I do is I just spam thunder. Some people pull out their guns and do wave the gun. Some people will bring out their partners and have a ragdoll equipped on their partner and hit Irusan with it, just so the bar goes down a little bit faster. When battling Irusan, you need to watch out for the Shasha, is like the verbal cue for when Irusan claws at you. When Irusan hits you with it, you'll get the status Irusan's Deathly Brand. And if Irusan hits you again, it's an automatic death.
Oh shoot, I hope I don't take that. Okay, good.
So for Irusan's Magic Cauldron, if you sometimes see those words like flash across your screen, nobody really does that anymore, but I'll just show you guys, just to show you what the cauldron is. It's over here. You just click on it and it will start filling up. You basically do this to help if there are a bunch of mobs out. So maybe weaker parties would do the cauldron still, but typically you don't really see people doing the cauldron nowadays. Okay, so now we are at the room after Irusan. So here we have 4 waves. Just to reiterate, it's because we hit the bells. But say if we didn't hit any bells, you'll be seeing 8 waves. I usually like to prag this room to make it go even faster, and then when we get into the boss room, I also prag glass. For this next wave, you can load up Grapple Shot or Ink Rush, so you can avoid the Race Roar when they spawn. No worries if you forget to do so, because I think I forget every time too. Okay, I'm now going to skip to the boss room, which is facing off against Giga Glas, just so this video isn't super long. Okay, now it's time for Giga Glas. When it comes to facing off against Glass, there are a few different ways you can go about it. It really depends on how strong your party is. So first off, I'm going to show a 100 burst, so this is going to be for the stronger parties. First, you want to make sure you are debuffing Glass, and then you want to move Glass in a position where no disciple will spawn on him or very close to him, because you don't want someone accidentally hitting the disciple, because by hitting a disciple out of order, it can cause your screen to go upside down, and then it gets kind of crazy. So I personally have always liked bursting at the bottom of the map, like where we spawn in at, but there are some teams that will burst on the right side or the left side in between the disciples, as shown in this little diagram here. Once all the debuffs are on, I will then vortex the middle, and then that's when everyone will use Exploit Weakness and Time Shift, their strongest attack. Yeah, sometimes Glass just likes to just start jumping around, which is kind of unfortunate, but as long as you are able to still maintain the mobs away from Glass, that's really good. In this run we have another DD, so they just put down another vortex for us. Before we get into a 90% burst, I just wanted to say that just make sure you are avoiding Glass's attacks. The red beam that he does and the purple attack will cause you to get a status effect. You can see Erg Beam After Effect, which is the status that you get. This causes you to not be able to summon any pets. And if you can't summon yellow pets, that means you can't do the yellow disciple if disciples appear. So next up we have a 90% burst. So what we do is we debuff Glass, we move him to a safe spot, and then we damage to 90%. At 90%, the Shriekers spawn, which are the purple floaty ball things. Then what you want to do is have the purple floaty things explode on top of Glass. Once 5 or so explode, Glass is then going to kneel. Whenever Glass kneels, he takes extra damage. Then same thing, everyone will time shift and use exploit weakness, and then if someone can put a vortex in the middle to contain the mobs, that is great. Next up we have an 80 burst. What we do here is we push Glass to 80%. At 80%, disciples spawn. Do not push Glass anymore or else you're gonna spawn mobs. Mobs spawn at 75%, so don't push it to 75. Disciples will spawn in a random color order. It is most important that you start in the top left. You must defeat the disciples in a Z-shaped pattern. Each disciple needs to be defeated in a certain way. Okay, first up is yellow in the top left, which is only weak to pet damage. Top right is white, which is strong against magic damage, so the EK does it. Bottom left is red, which is strong against melee damage, so I could do that as a DD. And bottom right is blue, which is strong against range damage, which I could still do as a DD. Sorry, I had to talk really fast to try and squeeze that in real quick. And then right after disciples, make sure you vortex the middle immediately and then get to bursting. We were doing these runs back to back, so that's why I didn't have time shift or exploit weakness back up, but usually you would do that. Next up is a 50 burst. For this one, you're basically going to be doing a disciple phase, kill mobs, and then after the next disciple phase, that's when you burst. Little fun fact, you can meteor strike the white disciple, and then I can't summon a pet here because I got that status effect that we talked about earlier. Here what you can do is keep attacking Glass to 55% because then you will have spawned both of the waves. Yeah, so you see, I ran out of torches, so that's why I started smacking it with my staff. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. Alrighty, and next up we have just a chill Crom run here. This is probably going to be for like the people that aren't as strong. They're just going to be taking it pretty much just wave by wave, so that would be like doing disciples and then not bursting Glass down all the way, They will just damage until they see a mob wave. They'll stop damaging glass, go deal with the mob wave, and then back to damaging glass again. Just kind of something like that. Oh yeah, I totally forgot about black holes because I think a lot of the parties nowadays just damage very fast nowadays. But if you do see black holes, these are them. Make sure you get out of the way. If you get hit by the black hole, it's an instant death. Alrighty, and that's pretty much it for Crom bursts. I will say for public Croms, you'll usually see the 80 bursts. So basically, that's the one after Disciples, everyone then time shifts exploit weakness on the boss. Or you can see people, the stronger Crom public parties, they will 100 burst. And then after you're done, you can talk to this NPC right outside, and you can trade your adamantine coins. whenever you get enough. If you have 200, I definitely recommend buying a Nightbringer mat. Well, that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!